You are now listening to the National Show with Gainstaville and Magee. The National Show, the National Show, the National Show, no show, no show. The National Show, the National Show, the National Show, no show, no show. All right. Y'all already know what it is. The National Show. Make sure you like, follow us, youtube.com/@National. That's NATIONOLE. Please subscribe. Also our Instagram.com/National, NATIONOLE. Please follow. And then also on x.com/National Show. Please follow NATIONOLESHOW. Make sure you follow our platforms.
You are so much better at spelling than I am.
It's easy when you're looking right at it.
I still mess it up. You see me. I do it every episode. Yeah. I still do it.
Oh man,
dude! Bucks start this weekend, baby. Bucks starts a Sunday, man. Big game.
You can't rustle off from it, bro. You already know what we here to talk about. We can touch the Bucks later on, but you know it's a little bit of ugly going on in Tallahassee. And we got to stick to
that.
That's
Bubba Sparks and Timberland. That's Bubba Sparks and Timberland. That's a good reference. That's a good reference. That's a good. That's a good one. That was one. That was really good. That was really good.
So what's up, man?
Man, I really didn't. Monday night late. I'm sitting there like, well, at least it's a bye week. I get a week off. I don't have to do this show. I don't have to think about this. I'll come back to this next week. I'll prepare for the show, the next preview. Fine. I'm like shifting, I'm like, all right. I'm like, day or two later, I'm a little bit more like clear-headed. I'm not so emotional about it all. I sit down. I got a fantasy football draft. I am excited. I hop on the Twitter or the X. Pardon me, the X. I hop on the X to talk a little shit about the fact that I got the first pick in my fantasy football draft. I never get that. Like, I've been doing this shit for years. I never have the first pick. And the first thing I see is an X post by you saying, oh, Friday, 2 p.m., me and Magee, we gonna be talking about it. I'm like, no. You just like twisted the knife and brought me right back to the dark place. And oh man.
Yeah.
Man. I'm sad, bro. I'm sad.
What?
There's things I saw that I never thought I'd see.
Yeah. I'm so all over the place, man, but I'm going to start with what I've always stuck to. It's the quarterback position. I always said, hey, we got this. Hey, we got that. Hey, we could do this. Hey, we could do that. But I have to see the quarterback on the field. And the first game, okay, all right. You was out there in Dublin. Okay, we get it. Another country, another time zone. First game, okay, all right. But this follow-up at home in Doak, like, bro, he was missing guys by miles consecutively. Like, it's like something between the ears just wasn't there, man. And then it affects the whole team. We had, less than 10 minutes on offense in the whole first half?
We only rushed the ball 10 times. Like, what was up? Like, we'll get back to the players in a second. I don't mean to absolve anybody, right? Because kind of everybody's to blame here. But
right.
Like, there was some very strange coaching decisions, some play calling, Like, going forward on the wrong side of the 50 early in that game.
Yeah,
like, what the hell are you doing?
Halftime,
dude? Right. What are you doing, man? Like, seriously, I never like, well, I you know
But
I didn't think going into this game I didn't think I'd have problems with coaching after the game, right? Like I
my,
didn't think that's where I would. I don't know.
like I feel like retrospectively looking at it, we're looking at it through the eyes of that move with DJU at quarterback. If that was Jordan Travis and he had then slid and got the first down, that would be like the thousandth thought in the back of your head right now. You know what I mean? But since it's DJU and the play didn't go through, and now I'm not taking no weight away from coach on that one. That's at the end of the day, it's still a dumb move, but you put your players in position to make plays at the end of the day. And there was no playmaking at all.
Yeah,
going
it
on
was.
the
It
field.
wasn't, and whether it started at one position and affected everybody else, or
Mhm.
if that position, along with of all the positions, were
Mhm.
reacting to some other external, impetus. But like,
Right.
there was questionable play and surprising decision making
Mhm.
all over both
All
sides
over
of
the
the
field.
ball,
Yep.
both sides of the ball. There was things I saw from Florida State players, and it legitimately felt like they weren't really trying that hard at times,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I don't ever want to see that. Like
Right.
that,
Right.
like I don't care if the team's better or better coached or better prepared or anything like that. Like there's no reason to not to allow somebody to try harder.
Right. Right.
Like,
Right. And as far as defense, it was like it wasn't bad because it's like they was there. They just didn't complete the job when they got there. It's like, okay, the first person that could get a sack or get a tackle for loss, now it's a missed tackle. Now it's 2, 3 guys later, and oh man, you know what I mean? So you're right. It comes down to coaching and execution. And one positive thing I will say is he did take ownership for it after the game. He ain't come with no BS. No, I'm gonna call this or that or other. He's like, no, I gotta prepare them better. I gotta do better as a coach. So hopefully he fulfills what he already knows he has to do. Hopefully.
it's wild. It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah.
Well, listen, when LSU decides to replace Brian Kelly, I don't think they're calling us like right away. They're like we're a couple, they're calling Coach Norvell. Like it's like a couple calls before him. Right?
Man, I'm gonna say Coach Prime.
Yeah.
You
Could you
never know,
imagine?
man. You never know. Give
I
it
don't think
maybe
it's.
two.
I'm not. I don't like that we're even jokingly talking about like, oh, who's gonna be the next coach of Florida State?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, I
it
agree. I
sucks
agree.
because
Yeah,
then we
yeah,
become like really the fucking asshole
yeah.
football program that like we
And then
talk
there's
shit
the
about.
yeah,
We took pride in like
yeah, yeah.
having Bobby's back, and we appreciated Jimbo for
Oh
years
yeah,
after he
yeah,
won
yeah,
one for us, and like Taggart was one of our own, and like we love Norvell. Like let's be
yeah.
the supportive fan base that we've always been. Like let's not jump there yet.
Yeah. That's just wishful thinking. I'm not gonna crucify Norvell after 2 games after what he's done for us since he's gotten here, because our whole program was in shambles when he got here, and he got us through some of the worst times I have seen in my Florida State football watching eyes. He's gotten us through some rough waters, and I thank him for that. And it's only 2 games. You know what I mean? Let the whole season play out. Let's see if we can develop some of those younger quarterbacks that we got coming into maybe later this year, next year, or whatever. And I'm not, indicating a move at quarterback. I don't know. I put my trust in the coach. If you sticking with DJU, then let's see him do something. But if not, let's develop some of them young guys. But if not, at the end of the day, coach, what you got? What we doing?
Yeah.
It's an off week. It's a bye week. Let's see what direction are we heading next,
Yeah, we don't. I mean, nobody's coming to this fucking live stream or podcast looking for the scoop on what's gonna happen. Like we don't have any inside info or anything, but
Right.
obviously, if it keeps heading in this direction, at some point, there's no reason not to have a look at what else we have in the room and get some guys some run for potentially who potentially may have the job next year.
Right. And even if that would have happened, I don't see that happening until years down the line. It just depends. Like if this is the
weeks down the line. Gotcha. Yeah. Weeks down. We ain't waiting years. Weeks down.
That's funny. I still think Norvell got a couple good more Florida State years in him, man.
Oh, I was talking about the quarterback. I apologize. I was talking about the quarterback. I mean, at some point we're gonna have to have to look at who else, the other options out there, because we're playing for the future. So.
Right.
But you never know. You're right. Like, hey, we go win 11 in a row. Might somehow get our way into ACC championship game. Like, it's not like everything's out the window, and we got some big games ahead of us, and all these cats need tape if they're going to be transferring or entering the draft or whatever they can do. So get your shit together. Go out there and work hard. I mean, because at least whatever everybody else is doing, like, control your effort. You can always control your effort. Go fucking work hard.
Right.
It's your jobs. You're all getting paid.
Right.
Fuckers getting paid now. Like,
yep.
It was wild. And what sucked is seeing it, like, the 2 days after watching the game in Gainesville.
Mm-hmm.
And really thinking about, shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
We could have taken a bigger bag to that meeting.
Mm-hmm. Lagway was sold. He was sold on Florida for a long time. I want to say.
Oh no, man! I was talking about Cam.
Oh, Cam, yeah.
We could have taken a bigger bag to that meeting.
Yeah, we should have brought the biggest bag to that meeting right there.
We ended up with the second prize, and not the first prize in that race.
Yep. So speaking of that, what do we do at quarterback going forward? Are you sticking with DJ? Or are you putting in the next available quarterback to develop going forward?
I mean, I guess you have this week's practice to really see, how everybody's responding and how everybody's interacting with each other, right? Mm-hmm. If people have a cold shoulder to him, you don't have a choice, right? But if you walk in there and people are like rallied around him, again, you don't have a choice. You kind of have to weigh the room and check it out, and see what happens. I mean, the fact that Memphis is coming in, like, and we, like, whether it's Memphis or Cal or SMU or Clemson, whoever else we're playing, everybody now smells blood.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everybody's going to come for the neck.
Right.
So at least the next few weeks, you got to put out whoever gives you the best chance to win. You can't start thinking about the future yet, because you got a reputation to fucking, to uphold.
Right.
You've been running this fucking block for so fucking long. Like, you can't just roll over and let, like, a fucking SMU or a Cal beat you in their first year in the ACC. You can't let Memphis show up in Tallahassee against the old head coach and get a fucking win right now. Like, that's just absolutely unacceptable. So you got to go with whoever gives you the best chance to win, and the only way to do that is to see the vibe. Go into that locker room, feel it. You'll know. I would know, and I'm not a head coach at a major university. I would be able to walk in and be like, "Go play for him," or
right.
I mean, enjoy that Celsius NIL money, but this isn't gonna work, buddy. We're gonna have to go with this kid. Like, you'll know.
And you point on vibe. That's exactly what I see lacking on the field with our offense collectively. It's like they're not vibing with the quarterback. They're not vibing with the running game. You know what I mean? Like, you take it 2 years ago. Keon Coleman, first year on our team. Okay, he's a transfer, no chemistry with JT, but they just got in some extra practices, hit the field, and he looked like butter out there. You know what I mean? That's that chemistry. I don't see any chemistry with our quarterback and any of the receivers that we got. And it's like he either misses the play, or if he gets it there, they're so shocked, like, oh, shit, I got the ball, and they dropped it. And I'm not taking them off the hook. A drop pass is a drop pass at the end of the day.
There were a couple that were catchable.
Yeah,
There were a
there was
couple that were
lot
catchable.
there was a lot
And
that
there,
were catchable. That
there were
tight
some
end dropped
blocks
a
that were
few of them.
missed, and there was there were some holes that weren't taken advantage of. But ultimately, it's not like we committed to the run game. Like I don't under. There's some real strange play calling, man.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It's stressful. It's stressful to relive.
The thing with the run game that I can kind of understand though is in order to do an effective run game, you have to get in the rhythm, and you can't get in the rhythm if you're getting three and outs.
I get that, but we went into the season, we went into every game talking about that's our strength. We have depth at running back. Let's use all these guys. Let's go out there. Let's cycle through them, fresh legs every play, etc. And we're not even taking advantage of that depth. When our passing game isn't working, let's at least put 2 tight ends out there and fucking, go run the ball and at least get some first downs, at least play some field position game. At least if your defense isn't playing the way your defense is supposed to play, because we probably didn't give enough credit to the fact that we lost a lot of players on defense to the draft.
And that's what I'm saying, man.
So,
we lost a lot of
if
depth.
you know that, if you know that your defense isn't playing well, and you know that your passing game isn't in sync for whatever fucking reason, all the more reason you rely on the running back and just eat up the clock a little bit. Just shorten the game and keep the ball. I'll keep your defense on the side just for that very fucking reason, to eat up clock, to hold the other team in check from scoring whatever the fucking like.
I will say I'm
gonna have a heart attack this season, aren't I? I thought we were gonna be celebrating and dancing all fucking season long, and I'm gonna have a heart attack, my guy.
Bro, on the plus side, the only 2 times on our schedule where we'll see a defensive line like the one we faced from Boston College and Georgia Tech is when we play Florida and Miami.
Yeah.
So we won't have that issue, and I felt like that was our biggest kryptonite as an offense. Those people was coming, bro. And even when we were trying to run the ball, they was stuffing it because these coaches are coming in with defensive transfers out the portal. Like they stacked on top of what they already had. Like with Georgia Tech, my thing was, we could beat them because we got depth. And then
I think they're better than they're certainly better than we thought they were going to be. But
oh yeah, they were.
I'll tell you what, they got two. They got 2 big wins, back to back to start the season, and
so
we'll see what happens for them going forward. That's they could. It seems like Clemson's down. Who had that? We did. And if we're not, it could be Miami, Georgia Tech. And maybe BC in the conversation.
Man. Jury's out on Miami.
Let's talk about some of these other teams. So Georgia Tech is going to Syracuse this week, and it's kind of like a trap game, right? They could be a little overconfident. So they're smart kids, obviously. It's Georgia Tech, but that doesn't mean that. I mean, they're still young. They're still susceptible to overconfidence. I would have been at that age, like, oh shit. We beat Florida State. We started our season. We ain't ever gonna lose, and I could walk right in there. Syracuse isn't bad. They got that transfer at quarterback.
But Georgia Tech, Castellanos has shown maturation from last year to this year. He's more relaxed. He's more calm. He is less turnovers, and that's the key right there. Because a lot of the games they lost, he took them out of, whether it was an interception or a fumble. So if you cut down on that and build on what you already got, he's the dude. So
he's a good quarterback.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, definitely. If you feel strongly about him, I mean, it's only a 2.5 point spread. I mean, I know they're on the road, but it's only a 2.5 point spread at Syracuse. Maybe Syracuse is a little overrated. Maybe that's a spot you might like. And a lot of people might like that. He really is no joke, man. We talked about him. We talked about him last year.
Yeah, I think he's from like Georgia too. I want to say.
I think so.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. There's a couple. Yeah. There's a couple games, but the Miami Florida game was pretty crazy. Now, Florida's really bad, right? Really bad.
Yes.
But Miami they did their thing on the road, hostile environment, did a dance while they did it. You know, they had fun while they did it. They put on the Miami show. And in the end, they were partying with the Florida recruits.
Yeah. But let me tell you something about that game.
Yeah.
I read a tweet where one of the defensive analysts posted that they saw Florida ran 10 plays more than others on offense, right? So they studied those 10 plays. They studied those 10 plays, and 5 out of the first 10 plays that they ran were the plays that they studied for. So, that's why I say give Miami their credit, but let's see them go against a better opponent before we, put some respect on their name.
Sure, but I mean, I like defense. I like defensive preparation. I like coaching.
I ain't gonna take away from that. If that was our team and we had the chance to do that, I'd be like, hell yeah. So I ain't taking nothing from him. And Cam Ward looked, oh my goodness, that was just offense. The defense, you can't question that. It was Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
He got whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted it.
Crazy.
Yep.
This week, FAMU is playing at Miami. All right. Obviously, Miami's gonna crush them. But the spread is 45.5 points.
Dang.
All right. So at what point in the game does Miami have their third string on and they let off the gas and maybe,
I don't know, man. Hold on. Let's step into Gainstaville's hypothetical world. So this is the HBCUs that are getting the better recruits now. They're getting the better coaches now. FAMU is like, I think they won the championship last year, or at least was in it. So they have the talent on their team. Now, I'm not saying they're going to come out there and do a stunner, but if they come in there, hit them on the lip a couple times and keep it close and maybe end up winning by, say, 20, 21, 25 instead of that 45, you never know.
You never 38, know. 39, 40, 41. Like, you're still getting paid. Like, I kind of want to bet FAMU plus 45.5.
Right. Yeah.
There's some wild. I mean, Clemson playing the white. I mean, the right. I mean, the whatever. The Dabo way ain't really working. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole no transfers. We'll take the kids from the suburbs. Like we want the guys that'll play for Clemson for years that really like wearing khaki. It's not vibing. It's not working with today's college football.
Right.
And fact is, I think they're susceptible this weekend to the App State treatment. But Clemson is a 17-point favorite at home against App State. I'm betting everything.
State.
I'm betting everything on App State. Everything on App State plus 17. But what I'm saying is there's a little baby chance that App State does what App State does.
Right. Yeah.
Whoever put them on the schedule.
I'm gonna take that bet. Yeah. I'm gonna take that.
Maybe it could be a fun little parlay of FAMU plus the 40 or plus the 45.5 and App State plus the 17.
Yeah, boy.
Clemson's bad, man. It made me feel like a little bit better.
Right.
Like a little bit better. Just thinking, well, at least Clemson's don't worry about that.
Yeah.
And then our guy, Coach Prime. You already mentioned his name once. Big game this weekend. Big game. Kind of, you know how NASCAR runs the Daytona 500 at the beginning of the season? Like they kind of have their whole season in week 2, right? Because both of these teams will propel one way or the other way based on the outcome. Like it's a really big game. Colorado, and you know what? Colorado and Nebraska are supposed to have really good big games. They're supposed to have really big games. This is a great rivalry. That's what college football is about. But Colorado is at.
This is put up a
Nebraska.
shut up, man. This is.
Oh. They're playing in Lincoln at Nebraska, and Colorado is plus 6.5 points.
Really?
Less than a touchdown, 6.5 points. Now, I am very high on Nebraska this year.
Right.
I am I am a big fan of their new quarterback. Raiola is really
Mhm.
good, really good. I think he's gonna be a big part of Nebraska getting back into the conversation. Now it's tough because they play in such a hard conference, but in today's expanded playoffs, maybe there is a path for them to get into the
All you need is a
mix.
chance.
Right.
All you need is a chance. So yeah, but that's kind of I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm always gonna support old ball coach, Coach Prime, and I hope that they prevail with it. But this could be serious upset alert, man, especially with how they performed the last couple weeks. And I don't know. It's
Well,
it's
Colorado's the underdog here. I mean, Nebraska's the better team, so
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't see Colorado going in there in Nebraska and getting a W. Honestly, I don't even know if it might be a close game. Maybe Nebraska covers late, real late. In late in the fourth quarter, they get another touchdown to get to double digits, a low double digit victory.
Hey, that kid
But
Shador is bad though.
it's going to be.
That
I mean,
kid
it's not going to be a
Shador is
blowout.
bad.
Nebraska's not going to blow Colorado out. Colorado can
Mhm.
put up some points, but I just don't think they're going to be able to stop Nebraska. And really, when it comes down to it, is what we talked about for a year and a half is that Colorado, they don't have the big guys on the offense or defensive line yet, but
Yeah,
just wait when they get those big guys, and they haven't really got them yet.
they
And
got this
so
though, bro.
I'm
They
just
got
saying,
some of but
Nebraska's got grown ups.
right.
Nebraska's got grown ups on the line, man. They've been a Big Ten team for years. You know what I'm saying? Like they've
Yeah.
been feeding them all corn nonstop for
I
years.
only say I gotta look at how Nebraska plays. If they play like a slow pace type offense, it kind of puts in Colorado's favor because that kid Shadur, all he needs is 4 or 5 downs to get a touchdown. So that means you can hog the clock, but you got to push it through at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hear you. Even though Colorado they've gotten better offensive linemen. They've gotten, I don't think they only returned one starter, and the rest of them are transferred in. They've gotten high defensive linemen recruits and transfers in. It's just the depth at this point.
Yeah.
So of course, Nebraska, they're depth wise, like you say, that's cornbread fed.
Coach Rule's
Sometimes,
really good at his
yeah,
job too.
yeah.
Matt
So
Rule's really good.
right. So I just feel like it depends on what pace of offense they run or whatever. If it's Matt Rule that's their coach.
Yeah.
Matt Rule.
Yeah.
Oh.
Remember what he did at Temple. Remember the turnaround to Baylor after the Art Briles bullshit. Yeah, I know it didn't work at the Panthers, but he's been, he's been there for a year. He got there about the same time as Dion, and then he didn't have his quarterback in yet, but now he's got a guy, man. Now he's got a guy. So I don't know. Just watch out. The future of Nebraska. Nebraska's heading in the right direction. They're trending in the right direction.
Either way, it should be a good game.
There's not a lot of good games this weekend, though. Like there's not a ton of great games. The only real oh shit, I can't miss is Texas and Michigan, just because of the names of it's Texas and they're going up to Ann Arbor. It's Texas and Michigan. It's a big deal. Texas is a 7.5 point favorite. I don't think Michigan's as good as last year. Obviously, they were in the championship game, but or they won the championship, but that seems like a big spread for a road game. Yeah. I know Texas is good, but that seems like a big spread for a road game.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm gonna go with Texas on this one just because they got the hog mollies that probably Michigan ain't gonna be looking for. And then Michigan, this is not to saying they trash, but it's the bounce back year.
Yeah.
They still got you gotta find what's clicking, what's not clicking, new quarterback, new rhythm, all of that good stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I like cheering for Texas. I like pulling for Texas because they have our Armenian head coach.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I guess that's not a reason to gamble on them. But I still might gamble on them, but not because he's Armenian, but just because I don't know. There's something special going on with this whole Texas to the SEC thing, and they could very well have a little magic run this year, and say not only are we here, but we're here, to do it right and really be a part of this thing. So
Came in at a perfect time too. Nick
yeah, the whole
Saban
world's yeah,
leaves, Florida's in shambles.
the whole world's in flux. They're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
hi.
LSU is in LSU. No more. Like they really came in at a good time too,
That's
man.
right.
Just got to watch out for Georgia.
All right, man. Listen, I got any way to salvage the season for the Knowles? You see it
Yeah,
happening?
we got to salvage that QB position, man. Either DJ has to slow down and just let that offense come to him. Everybody start, like you say, connecting and vibing and get on the same page. Or at that point, I feel like if we get one more game out of him, like we've gotten the last two games, now it's time to move on to developing whatever talent we have at the roster to salvage the year or whatever. I will say we got a better chance in Florida because our schedule looks good, and like you pointed out, Clemson's having a down year. Miami still, they have to play someone for us to see what they really got. So
SMU didn't look all that great, but it's
right,
early in the
right,
season.
right,
They could get some
right.
momentum. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's what I'm saying is there's a good chance we can turn things around, or at least 7-5, 8-4, or something like that.
We need some really good days of practice.
Yeah, yeah. No days off
This
between
is
now
where
on in
this
San
is where the fact that it's
Memphis.
the national show and we are not in it's not the local the I don't know how you do that, the local show or local
Local
show,
no,
the
local
local
no.
show, the fact that we're not there, this isn't the pod to come to get the inside scoop. It's just the pod to come have fun with your friends that really like Florida
Hmm.
State football.
Yes, sir. Yep.
But I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know what's going to happen. It has to happen in the locker room. It has to happen on the
Hmm.
practice field.
Hmm.
It can't just be one guy making a decision or wanting it or anything.
Hmm.
This guy's got to want to play together.
Right.
We've all seen the replacements. It's
Hmm.
heart. It's all about heart. Whatever he says to the camera,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like that's what it is, man. And it could be that bringing in all these cats, giving them big bags, like that's not the right attitudes that we want too many of. In the like maybe we're going with the wrong people or whatever. We're not. Where's the culture? Like where's the vibe? Like where's the camaraderie, etc. Like where's the all of us together? Because that's what I didn't see. Like I didn't see
Hmm.
dudes playing for their homies. Like they're
Hmm.
dudes right
Yeah.
next to them. Forget me. I don't fucking matter. Fans
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
fans are fans.
Yeah.
They're gonna care or be angry or both at the same time all the time, right? But like,
Yeah.
where's the fucking fight for the dude who's next to you? Like I don't
Right.
see that, and
Right.
that's like it just makes me sad, man. It just makes me
Right.
sad. Yeah.
Totally agree, man. There you have to have accountability. What you're talking about is accountability amongst teammates. Accountability that, hey, man, if you throw the ball here, I'm gonna catch it. If I throw the ball, it's gonna be catchable. I'm gonna block long enough for you to get the ball out of your hands. On defense, we're going to hold them to a certain amount of points. We're not going to let them dominate us physically at the line of scrimmage, whether it's on offense or defense. We're going to capitalize off of our third down conversions, not commit stupid penalties that, make us look dumb and put us even that much further from our goal or whatever, man. Because that I think it was offensive lineman or whatever that did that call that gave them the first down. Like, come on, man. Like,
Dumb mistakes, just bad decision making.
right, right,
Bad
right,
decision making, man.
right.
And that's the kind of thing you say about an immature team. That's the kind of thing
Yep.
you say about a team that's just getting put together.
Right.
When you have a
Right.
team that's you had a leader for a couple years at quarterback, or you got a nucleus that's been together for 2-3 years, and you're just adding to that nucleus. That's different. But when you don't have the nucleus and you're just bringing in a whole bunch of
Right.
dudes, like it's hard to have that identity. It's hard to have that camaraderie.
The thing that scares me the most is it looks like our offense when JT first took over. That's what it reminds me of. But it's like with a fifth year senior. That's like the the boom. Not only did I get stabbed, but they're gonna twist it with you. You know what I mean? Like, and that's for me the most disgusting part is why are we struggling this much with a seasoned vet? That's like having Chris Winkie in there, and Chris Winkie is missing. You know what I mean? Like,
God, I miss Chris Winkie. We needed some dude to just come out the minor leagues right now. Just come out, trot on the field, and be like, "Hi guys."
Worked the last
Go
time.
deep. we need someone, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just to go back to where it all began, at least we got the Bucks to look forward to, my guy.
Yeah,
we are undefeated right now. Tampa Bay
sir.
Buccaneers are undefeated. Let's go, Buc-O's. It's kind of the exact opposite. The Bucks kept their nucleus together. They reinvested in their guys. They reinvested in their offensive linemen. Now, not everybody. Obviously, it's an NFL roster. There's flux every year, but you know they gave out extensions. They're keeping people around.
Yeah,
they kept a nucleus of guys that were part of the Brady era, and they brought in a new guy to lead it, but they try to keep some of that attitude going, and they've created a new nucleus from those remnants. It's really cool. It's really cool, and I'm excited about it. I like when a team reinvests in themselves. I like when a team grows together, and I think I'm excited about the Bucs season. And I am going to Tampa, and I will be at the game on Sunday.
Nice.
So Washington Commanders.
That's gonna be a good one, man. Daniel's first game or whatever, and
the flip side is they got 30 new players on a 54-man roster.
Whoa, talking about overhaul
on top of a new head coach, new GM. Last year was new ownership. Like it's all like they're like a year or two into their Philadelphia 76ers process. Like they're rebuilding, and they're
it don't take that long.
Well, when you got a lot of money, you can do it quicker. And also those NFL contracts aren't guaranteed. You could always just be like, okay, we're done. But it feels like on their valley, they've already hit the bottom, and they're beginning to come up, and you're going to see this over the next, let's say, 4 years. That Commanders team is going to grow together and be much better than they are now. And as Jaden Daniels either works out or they find somebody else in that spot and put the right players around them and let them grow together.
He's in a position to win right now.
I think he's a really good talent.
Receivers, they got a good young running back. They patched up their offensive line.
Yep, a bunch of new running backs. You're right.
Yeah,
what's his name from LA? Who I'm talking? Elker.
Yeah.
He's smart.
So you never know, man. After watching CJ Stroud last year, man, I ain't gonna talk against him until I see him, man.
You're now expecting every rookie to be
historically
historic.
Not expecting, but I'm not gonna give him the rookie grunt treatment until I at least see him play first. Like, let me see 2-3 games. Okay,
that's gonna be a good game. Who are they? Aren't they playing the Colts? Or don't we get to see CJ Stroud and? Aren't they playing?
Yeah,
I think we get to see C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson face off.
Yep.
I'm excited. And there's a game tonight, a Friday night game. In Brazil, so that'll be cool. All right, man. I appreciate you giving me a little space to be positive at the end. That was I needed that little palate cleanser, so to speak.
We all need something to look forward to.
Let's wrap it up. All right.
Yes, sir.
The National Show is a co-production between Broham and B. Abbott. It is available as a live stream at 2 p.m. Eastern and 11 a.m. West Coast every Friday during the season. And the video on demand is available very soon thereafter, also on youtube.com/@national, NATIONOLE. And the audio is available at betyourash.com and on the Bet Your Ash feeds on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And we're working on it. We'll get our own audio feeds pretty soon. Have faith. We are on the social media. Gainstaville told you earlier. On Instagram, it is National, Nationole. And on X, it is National Show, NationOleshow. Also, holler at Gainstaville. He is everywhere. Go to Linktree/Gainstaville. GAINSTAVILLE. Now I'm just showing off. You see me? I'm making it look good. He is on all the platforms. He's on all the social medias. You can listen to his music everywhere. You should listen to all of it on different platforms every time so that you can like it everywhere, follow it everywhere. That's the best way to support my guy.
Yes, sir.
Makes killer music. He's got a new album, like what, a week away? 2 weeks away? 3 weeks away?
2 weeks away to the Desperado Code.
Exciting. Very, very cool. And is that everything?
That's it, bro.
All right. Well, go Knowles.
Go Knowles.
And you have just finished listening to the National Show with Gainstaville and Magee.